The Palestinian-Israeli conflict is deeply rooted, multi-phased issue that has evolved over decades, with historical, political, social, and religious dimensions that have contributed to its complexity. The conflict primarily revolves around the competing national aspirations of two peoples, the Israelis and the Palestinians, for their right to self-determination and control over the land they both claim as their own. Historical background since the 19th century. The roots of the conflict can be traced back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, when both the Jewish and the Arab populations inhabited the region known as Palestine under the Ottoman rule. The rise of Zionism and the movement advocating for the creation of a Jewish homeland in Palestine, and the subsequent influx of Jewish immigrants led to increasing tensions with the indigenous Arab population. British colonial rule following World War I further exacerbated tensions as the Balfour Declaration in 1917 expressed support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. This declaration was met with resistance by the Arab population, leading to outbreaks of violence and ongoing unrest. Formation of Israel and Palestine displacement. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a partition plan to divide Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states, with Jerusalem designed as an international city. While Jewish leaders accepted the plan, Arab leaders rejected, leading to the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. The war resulted in the establishment of the State of Israel and the displacement of thousands of Palestinians, an event which they refer to as Nakba, meaning catastrophe. Subsequent conflicts, including the Six-Day War in 1967 and the Yom Kippur War in 1973, further shaped the territorial landscape, with Israel gaining control over the West Bank, Gaza Strip, Golan Heights, and the Sinai Peninsula. The ongoing occupation of these territories has been a central point of contention in the conflict. Israeli settlements and security. One key issue in the conflict is the expansion of Israeli settlements in the West Bank, which has been a major obstacle to peace negotiations. The growth of settlements has resulted in the displacements of Palestinian land, confiscations, and the construction of a system of roads and barriers that have fragmented the Palestinian territories. Israel has citizen security concerns, including ongoing attacks by Palestinian militant groups, as primary reason for construction of these settlements and the implement of security measures. Conversely, Palestinians view these actions as a violation of their rights and barrier to the establishment of a viable, independent Palestinian state. Current situation and efforts for peace. In recent years, efforts to resolve the conflict have involved multiple peace initiatives, negotiations, and diplomatic efforts by the international community. The Oslo Accords in the 1990s aimed to establish a process for achieving a two-state solution, but progress has been hindered by ongoing deep distrust and disagreements over key issues such as borders, security, Jerusalem, and the right of return for Palestinian refugees. The conflict has also seen the rise of militant groups such as Hamas in the Gaza Strip, which has engaged in armed resistance against Israel. The cycle of violence, including periodic conflicts and the upswing, has exerted a heavy toll on both Israeli and Palestinian populations, leading to the loss of life and injuries and psychological trauma. Humanitarian and human rights concerns. The conflict has had a profound impact on the daily lives of people on both sides, with a widespread suffering, economic hardship, and restrictions on movement affecting Palestinian communities. Israel has faced international criticism for its use of lethal force, administrative detentions, and the blockade of the Gaza Strip, while Palestinians have also faced criticism for acts of terrorism incident. The international response to the conflict has included humanitarian assistance, diplomatic intervention, and the call for a peaceful resolution based on the principles of international law and human rights. The status of Jerusalem, the right of return for Palestinian refugees, and the recognition of Israel as a Jewish state are among the critical issues that continue to challenge the peace efforts. Despite the complex and entrenched nature of the conflict, there remains hope for a just, lasting resolution. Dialogue, mutual recognition, and respect for aspiration on both sides, and the commitment to security and peace are essential components for achieving a sustainable and equitable outcome. The pursuit of a two-state solution in which Israeli and Palestinians can live side by side in peace and security within international recognized borders remains a central objective for the international community. In conclusion, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a deeply impactful and complex issue with numerous historical, political, and social dimensions. As the conflict continues to evolve and change, it remains crucial to seek peaceful and just resolution that addresses the legitimate aspirations and needs of both the Israeli and the Palestinian peoples.